How to use the English verb ask correctly from espressoenglish.net. Ask is one of the most common verbs in English, but there are a number of details to remember when you use it in a sentence. Here are 8 ways to use the English verb ask correctly. You can ask someone for an object. For example, I asked the teacher for a pencil. I asked her for a glass of water. My son asked for a video game for Christmas. I asked the teacher for some help with the homework. I'm going to ask my sister for advice. Let's ask the travel agent for information. You can also ask someone about a topic. For example, I asked the teacher about the final exam. I asked my colleague about his trip to Portugal. My boss asked me about the project. Let's ask the travel agent about flights to Europe. You can also use the structure ask someone followed by the actual question you asked, using who, what, when, where, how, and why. For example, I asked my kids who had made the mess in the kitchen. He asked me what I like to do on the weekends. Let's ask when the next showing of the movie is. I asked Jill where she had bought her dress. The hotel receptionist asked me how many nights I would be staying. Have you ever asked him why he doesn't like to travel? If you asked someone a yes or no question, you can use ask someone if. For example, I asked her if she likes to dance. Let's ask the waitress if there are any lunch specials. The teacher asked the class if everyone had finished the homework. You can ask someone to do an action. For example, my mother asked me to clean my room. I asked my secretary to print out the report. They asked us not to make so much noise in the library. The doctor asked me not to eat for 12 hours before the surgery. Here's a common error. Never use ask to someone. Don't say, I asked to my friend if she had any plans. The correct sentence is, I asked my friend if she had any plans. Let's ask the teacher our question. Don't use the word to before the teacher. He asked me about my family. Don't use the word to before me. Don't say, I asked to everyone turn off their cell phones during the meeting. The correct sentence is, I asked everyone to turn off their cell phones during the meeting. We also have some phrasal verbs with ask. Ask around means to ask a number of people for information or help. For example, what's the best restaurant in this area? I like Gotham Bar and Grill, but if you ask around, I'm sure you'll get a number of great suggestions. To ask someone out means to invite someone out on a romantic date. For example, he wants to ask her out, but he's too nervous. You can also specify what the invitation was for. He asked me out to dinner, or for dinner. He asked me out to lunch, or for lunch. He asked me out for a movie. He asked me out for a drink. He asked me out for coffee. When you ask someone over, you invite that person to your home. For example, I'm going to ask the new neighbors over for dinner tomorrow night. Barbara asked me over to fix her computer. Finally, we have the expression ask someone over and over again, meaning to ask the same question many times. For example, I've asked her over and over again to stop calling me and she just won't listen. We asked him over and over why he was upset, but he didn't want to tell us. If you want to learn more English grammar, join my Advanced English Grammar course. It has 45 clear and detailed lessons with quizzes and writing tasks that you can send to me for feedback. Click on the link in the video or in the description for more information.